Good morning, friends. How are all of you? I hope and positive that you are doing fine with yourself and with your studies also. So I left you. I told you that yesterday that what is a ballot paper, what is election system is in India. Look, ballot paper earlier. Now it's a EVM, electronic voting machine. Earlier, it was a ballot paper. The person should go over there. He used to have a stamp. A big paper used to be there on nominees of election and people, representative. Their name is there. You choose one person from there, put a stamp on it. Whosoever is getting the majority is he used to be now winner. Now is the EVM, electronic voting machine, and you know about the electronic voting machine very well. So, election system in India, we may have noted about a reference to different methods or the systems of election, different methods and system of elections. We may have wondered why these were all about. We may have seen or read about different methods of electioneering or campaigning in elections. Campaigning in elections, you know very well. Right. So, but what are different methods of elections? There is a system of conducting elections. There is a system of conducting election. Election को conduct करने का एक system होता है. There are authorities and rules about do's and don'ts. You cannot do this. You should not do this. Right? Not to do. Right? Is what all election system all about? No, it's not all about. We may have wondered why the constitution needs to write down how the votes are to be counted and representatives elected. In constitution it's written about our election system, how election system should be there. It's a very obvious. People go and vote. When India was a democratic country. So then from the first election till now, people used to go to the poll booth, and used to put their voting part over there. The candidates who get highest votes get elected. Who got the highest vote in election system, they used to be elected. That is what elections are all over the world. Not in India, it's all over the world. Whosoever getting highest vote, he or she is being elected. Why do we need to think about it? We need to, because this question is not as simple as it appears. We have to go used to a system of elections and what we think about it. In a democratic election, people vote and their performance to decide who is going to win the contest. Right? Let me tell you one thing. Here party is also there. Suppose BJP is there, Congress is there, but the moment you think about the BJP, you think about Amit Shah, you think about Mr. Narendra Modi, right? And the moment you think about Congress, the very moment you think about Mr. Sonia Gandhi, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, Ghulam Nabi Azad. So these were the people, Kapil Sibal, they are all from the Congress. Here in India, basically people matters. The person matters. Obviously, the party is behind them. But in some countries, party matters, not the people. Right. So we'll discuss later on. In a democratic election, people vote and their preference decide who is going to win the election. But there can be very different ways in which people make their choices and very different ways in which their preference can be counted. These different rules of the same can make a difference to who is going to win or the game will be. Some rules can favor bigger parties. Some rules favors bigger parties. We think about bigger party, the Congress. Right, earlier Congress was a majority. BJP was no one were anywhere. Nobody knows who is from the BJP. Anywhere, party was nowhere. Some rules can help the smaller players also. Some rules can favor the majority community. Others can protect the minorities. Let us look at these situations. Now, it's a very important part which I am telling you. First past the post system, FPP system. Right. What is that? First past the post system. Now, in the Lok Sabha elections of 1984, the Congress party came to with the power, winning from 415 out of 543 Lok Sabha seats. It got 415 seats. Listen to very carefully. And after this video, go to the book and Indian Constitution at Work, chapter 3rd, election representation. Read the chapter very carefully. The Congress party came to power winning it got 415 seats out of 543 Lok Sabha election. Right. So, seats, more than 80% of the seats, such as victory was never achieved by any party in the Lok Sabha. What does mean? The Congress party won 4/5 of the seats. Does it mean that 4 out of 5 Indian votes voted for the Congress party? Actually not. 4 out of 5 Indian voters vote for the Congress party because it won the 4/5 of the seats from the seats. Actually not. Take a look at the enclosed table. The Congress party got 48% of the votes. How much? 48% of the vote. It means that only 48% who voted, they vote for the Congress. This means that only 48% of those who voted in favor of the candidate put up by the Congress party. But the party still managed to win more than 80% of seats in the Lok Sabha. Look at the performance of the other parties. The BJP got 7.4% at that time. At that time, BJP got just 7.4%, but less than 1/4 of the seats. How did it happen? Now this is a chart. This is a chart. We will discuss this chart and other part in next video. Please go through this chapter very carefully, right? Till then, thank you and have a nice time.